Welcome to How to Create Expressions in Taleo Business Edition reporting. Let's get started. So for today's exercise, what I will show you is how to create different expressions to gather different types of information in your report. So what we're going to do is we're going to add two columns together. So we're going to concatenate two fields so that they show up in one column. So that will be one expression we're going to use. We're also going to create a time difference. So for example, if you want to know how many days a requisition has been open, so we can create a difference day expression to gather information. And based on those results, we're also going to create an if statement. So say, for example, if the rec open date is greater than so many days, then we're going to give it a name. So I'll show you how to do all that within your reports. So let's get started on that. We're going to go to reports, create a report. And the topic that I'm going to select to create this report is candidate by requisition. And we're just going to go ahead and click on next. So in terms of requisition fields, let's bring in rec ID. We're going to bring in rec title. We're going to bring in rec location, and let's bring in the open date. We're also going to bring in some candidate fields. So let's bring in candidate ID, candidate first name, and candidate last name. All right, now let's get started in creating our expressions. So we're going to go to the expressions tab. So the first one we're going to do is one to concatenate two fields. So for example, here we have first name and last name, which are in two separate columns. We're going to bring them together to have candidate name show up in one column. So we're just going to go ahead and click on add expression. But before we do that, let me show you as well here. If ever you're creating expressions and you're kind of stuck, you're not too sure, you can always click here on learn more expressions, and that will open up the guide and let you know how to create these and what type of different formulas you can use to create your expressions. So we're going to click on add expression. We're going to give it a name. Now it's very important to note that the name you give it has to stick, because you're not going to be able to modify the name once the expression has been added. So in the expression section here, what we can do is we can highlight first name, click on add to expression. And next, what we're going to do is we're going to just do a plus sign. And we want a space in between first name and last name. So we're going to put in the quotes, another space, another quote, and then we're going to put plus. And this time, another way you can bring in some entities into your expression, instead of highlighting and clicking to add to expression, what you can do is you can click on the left bracket, and as you see at the bottom here, some expressions will automatically show up. So we're just going to select last name right here, and we're going to click on save. So that particular expression will concatenate both the first name and last name to show up in one column. So next, we're going to do a time difference so that we calculate how many days requisition has been open. So we're going to click on add expression, and we're going to give it a name of rec days open. And here, if we want to have a difference between two times, you can simply start typing DIFF, and as you can see here, it will show up in what type of formula that you need. So for the variable one here, we're going to select the open date. And we want to calculate that to today's date. So what you can do is simply click TO, and as you can see, today will show up. And we're going to leave it as is, and we're going to click on save. Now we have our second expression that will give us the number of days that the requisition has been open. Now finally, if we want to pinpoint to requisitions that have been open for greater than 365 days, you might want to verify why have they been open for so long. So we can add an expression for that. And here we're going to put requisition greater than 365. And in our expression, we can type out the if, and as you can see here, it will show up as well. So for the variable here, what we're going to do is we're going to type in the left bracket, and we want to go get the expression that we created for the number of days the requisition has been open. So we're just going to take that. And between the right bracket and the wave bracket, we're just going to click into here, and we're going to put greater than 365. And if it's greater than 365, we want to put that in quote. We're going to call that please review. And if it's not 365, we're just going to say, okay. We're going to save that formula. Let's call this report expression demo. We're going to give it a layout of default landscape, and we're just going to click on next. We're not going to add any filters. We're just going to click on next to launch the report designer. So here we can start dragging our columns into our report. So we're going to start with rec ID. We're going to resize some of them to maximize our space. We're going to bring in rec title, acquisition location. We're going to bring in the open date. We're going to bring in candidate ID. And here to show you the difference, let's just bring in first name and bring in last name. But remember that we created an expression to concatenate both columns into one. So we're going to bring in candidate name. And as you can see, we have the first name and last name of the candidate under one column. So we can go ahead and delete these two columns. Now we're going to bring in the number of days the requisition has been open. And these numbers might be a little bit high because it's a demo zone. And let's bring in our if statement that we created. So as we can see here, the rec days open is greater than 365. So it's listed as please review. So let's just go ahead and save that. And let's run a report. And as we can see here, we have our please review. Most of them are in review because once again, it's a demo zone. But if it's not review because it's not greater than 365, as you can see here, it's set to okay. Now, let's say we want to really highlight the please review so that, it gives attention to requisitions that have been open greater than 365 days. We can go ahead and click on edit layout. We can highlight our requisitions that are greater than 365 days. We can highlight that column and just click on highlight here. So if it's not equal to, and here it's case sensitive, so make sure that you write it as it was in your expression. So if it's not equal to okay, we're going to give it a background color of red. And we're just going to click OK. As you can see, it's been highlighted in red, and we're just going to go ahead and save. Now, if we run a report again, so as you can see, all requisitions that are greater than 365 days have been highlighted in red in order to bring attention to these requisitions. So I hope this video was helpful to you on how to create expressions for TBE reporting. Have a great day.